Welcome back to Ayaz Tech. My name is Ayaz Zafar. This is the second part of the series where we were creating a website, a portfolio website from the PSD. So we were converting an existing PSD file into the HTML CSS. And we have completed that layout up to this level that you can see that half of the layout was almost completed. And in this video, we will continue from here and we will complete the layout. So before we begin, please make sure that you already have subscribed to my YouTube channel and clicked on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification from my YouTube videos. So let's begin. Okay, so next section is about us section. So go to the index.html and there we will create another section for the about us. And about us is has a specific width as we have for the container. So I will first add a div with the container class that has a fixed width, that has a width in the percentage, and in the about us, first of all, we have an heading which h1 tag. Okay. After heading, we have the paragraph. Uh, Now I will copy the text for the paragraph. Double click on this paragraph and this will this layer will be editable, and so you will be able to select the text from there. Okay, so we have copied the paragraph. Next, in the next step, we need to create two columns. One column for the uh, pictures and second column for the description for the text. So in the about us, I'm going to create a div. You can call it anything, but I'm for now calling it about us row. And in that row, I'm going to create two columns, div about us pics. So this is for the pictures, and second one about us text. So here in the about us pic, I will create two more elements, div about us pic. So this is the pic without the s. So you will notice that here I'm using class because uh, we cannot have multiple elements with the same ID. So if you are going to have same kind of elements with the same styles, then you should use the class name instead of the ID. So next, we need another heading in the second column. Next, double click on the paragraph to get the text for the paragraph. And in the p tag, I have added the paragraph. And after that, we need a link that would say read more. Okay. Now let's look at this design in the browser. So this is how it is looking right now. We need to uh, update it. So, so you can see that there is a specific margin on the top or a padding. So let's calculate that gap from the top. So we can see that margin top or padding top should be 129 pixels. So let's add that. Copy the about us. I have added the selection selector for the about us section. Now I will add padding top 130 pixels. Okay. Now after about us, there is a gap that I need to calculate. So the gap after the about us heading is 68 pixels. So about us H1 margin bottom 64. Okay. So if we observe this layout, uh, it looks like that the picture section has around 70% of the width. So this section is taking around 70% of the width of the main container, and this section is taking around 30% of the width. So so I will use this selector first, about us row, and here I will add a style display flex, and in the about us we have I'm going to add a class that would be common in both these columns. Uh, you can use any naming convention for the selectors, so it's up to you. So to this about us row, I want to add the percentage flex 1 1. Actually, for now, I guess we don't need this class at this moment, so I will just use the ID because I don't need class for now. Okay, in the about big section should be around 70%, and the other section about the text section so should be around 30%. Okay, so there should be a line break after this text. So let's add a line break here, I guess. Okay, now I need to adjust the line space for the paragraph. I guess line space for all of the paragraphs in the entire page are almost same. So line height. So I am going to add a global style for the paragraph as well. So I will remove this style and I will move it to the global level. Okay. Next, we need to style these two sections for the images. Okay. So first of all, we need a container that we already have about a speak container. And in that, we should have another div that will have the name of the person, div person info. And in this section, this will have the yellow background color and this will also have the name and the role, web developer. Okay, so I will copy paste the same HTML code in the second element as well. Okay, now we need to style the about us pic section. About us pics should have display flex so that we could align, we can move both of these elements in horizontal direction instead of vertical. So as soon as you will add the display flex, then both of these boxes would be aligned horizontally like this. Okay. Now we need to add some width. So as we know that both of these pictures are taking 50% of the available space. So copy this class and add here about us pics and flex 50%. Okay. Now for now I'm going to add some height, 400 pixels, and background light gray. Okay. Now we also need to add gap, 40 pixel. Okay. You can give a fixed height or you can also add a dynamic height. So if you want to have a same height as the width, you can do something like this. Padding, bottom, 100%. In this way, oh, sorry, it is, maybe this, I guess this should work if you have a fixed width, but if you are in have width in the percentage, then it might not work. Okay, now we need to style these two sections. So select the selector for the person info and add it here. About us, fix dot about a pick, and here add the ID for the person info. And this should be class because we cannot have same name for an ID for the multiple elements. So we need to change it to the class so that we can have same name twice. Now add position, absolute, bottom 0 pixels, and left 0 pixels, background yellow, the same yellow that we have been using so far. So you can see that the position of the elements is very strange. It came to the top instead of moving to the bottom of this section. So this is because we must have to add the position relative to the parent in order to make it work correctly. Okay, next we need to add padding top and left. So for that we use padding 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, I guess that's fine. Now we need to change the colors and font sizes. So for that, double click here and select the text. This will give you the size of the text is 15 pixels. And so font size 15 pixels. Okay, now for the role, we need to decrease the font size, I guess. So double click on the font size, the role, and copy it. Select it, then it will show you the font size is 12 pixels. Okay, and we also need white color for the role. And we need a margin top, 20 pixels maybe. 20 is too much, I guess. Instead of 20, let's try 8 pixel, I guess. Okay, that's fine. Okay, next on the right direction. Actually, before that, we need to add margin top above the picture section. So the gap above the picture section is around 70 pixels. So let's go back to the VS Code. And so this is the about us row. We need to add 70 pixel above this section. So add padding top 70 pixels and reload it. So okay, looking good. Now on the right side, you must have been noticed that it is not looking good, and there is something that we need to improve. That it is touching the picture from the left side, so we need to add a gap there as well. You can see there's a gap, and the gap is around, let me see, 86 pixels. So so here we can add that gap 86 pixels. So with this approach, you don't need to add the padding, and it will add that gap and adjust the layout very efficiently. So okay, great. Next, we need to design the link. The design of the link is very simple. Okay, so there should be margin top above the read more. So instead of adding the margin top, you can add the line breaks if you want. Okay. Yeah, that is good. Next, we need to add some pictures to make it look normal. So let's get some pictures from the pexels.com. So here you can ask some. So as this is section about us, so we can find the persons or maybe. So yeah, you can take this picture. So drag that picture and move it to the VS Code like we did before. This time it is not allowing me to draw picture there. Let me try again. Yeah, now it is working. Here you can add about one, about you can see say user one, as this is a picture of a person, or you can say person one. Okay. Well, now we need to add another person. Okay. So this is the picture. Drag it again to the VS Code like we did before. Person two. Okay, now let's add these pictures to the placeholders that we created earlier. So this is the placeholder. Add the style, background, image, URL, assets, images, person one, and similarly copy paste the same style to the other element and reload the page. Okay, it is looking strange because we did not work on the background images style. So we need to improve the styling for the background image. So let's do that in the about us pick selector. We need to add background size cover and background position center. Hmm. I need to change the path of the second person to the person two. Okay, great. Yeah, now it is looking professional. Okay, there is another interesting effect that we can try. For example, this is the image that we added. There is another style, we can call it background attachment fixed. So if we add that, that is very nice effect. So let's see if we can add that. So these are the pictures. So background attachment fixed can be applied to the background images. So we added background image to these sections. So let's try to add them here and see how it looks like. So here we added the background image. So I'm going to add background attachment fixed and let's see how it looks like. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, effect is good, but images are not fully visible. For example, this image is not visible. So I guess we have to revert that change from here and we can try that change here to see how it looks like. No, that is not good. So let's remove that from here. We can try this effect somewhere else, maybe in the next sections. So this is how our layout is looking so far, and it is looking great, I think. So, okay, let's move forward. Next section is our blog. So actually, another thing, if I hover my mouse on the links, then the color of the link should become yellow. So let's add that global style, color yellow. Okay, now let's try. Uh, okay, yeah, now it's looking good. I need to add the transition as well to add a smooth effect for to have the animation between changing colors. So transition color 0.4 s easy now. Yeah, now it is good. Next section we are going to build is called our blog. So let's do that. Before that, let's end this section for the about us. About us section ends. Next section is blog. Let's create the boundaries for the styles of the blog section. Okay, so we should also comment in the HTML code as well. For example, here you can add a comment about us section starts, because now our code is going to be complex. We have a lot of code now, so we should add comment everywhere. Banner starts. Okay, banner start, banner ends. Now we can add showcase start and showcase ends. Next, about us start and about us ends. Okay. Similarly, we are going to start another section, that is blog section starts and blog section ends. Okay. And in the blog section, first of all, we have a heading that says our blog. And after that, we have a paragraph. So double click here and select all the text. Add the p tag. Okay. We need to add the line break here like we did before. Now we need to add the selector for the blog, add padding top. Let's make sure the gap above the blog section. So let's measure that. So the gap above the padding above the our blog is 245 pixels. Okay. So after our blog, there is another gap. And I guess that gap is fine. And after the paragraph, there is another gap. And after that, we have a row with 3 columns in it. So let's do that first. After the paragraph, I'm going to create a div with blog row, and in the row, blog row column, paste it thrice. Actually, don't paste it. We will add some content, then we will copy paste. Have the similar styles. Now we need to add another div for pictures, and in the picture we need an overlay so that if you user over their mouse over the picture or article, then we should show this overlay with the read more button on it. And in the overlay, we need a button or text a read more. Okay, so after that, we need a heading outside of a picture section. I'm going to call it the content, and in the content, I will add heading H5 super log article. And after that, we need a paragraph. In that paragraph, we will copy paragraph from here. And after the paragraph tag, we need to add the date. All right, so let's preview that in the browser. So this is how it is looking right now. It is not interesting at all so far. So, so let's style this section in that blog, and then ID blog row should have a padding top that should be equal to the to 70 pixels. Okay, so now let's add styles for the picture section. So blog row dot pic should have height of 200 pixels, I guess, maybe, and width of 100%, background light gray. Hmm, okay, now we need to add the position relative so that we could design the overlay inside of it. So add the selector log row dot pic and add the overlay selector and add the position absolute, width 100%, height 100%, left 0 pixels, top 0 pixels, and display flex, align center, and vertical align center. Okay, let's try that. Hmm. It is still not in the middle, horizontally in the middle. So let's see what is the issue. So instead of vertical align, we should have added the justify content center. Okay, great. Now it is in the center. And also I need to add the background color, yellow, and the text color should be The font size should be higher and it should be bolder. So font size is 30 pixels and font weight is bolder. Reload it. Now we need to remove the text decoration globally from the anchor tags. uh, Text tag. Oh, sorry, text decoration. All right. Now I need to change the style for the style for the anchor tag, especially for this section, so that it don't change the color to the yellow. Otherwise, it will be merged. So, so in the overlay, if you on the power of the anchor tag, we need to change the color to the white. Okay, maybe don't change the color. Okay, all right. Let's see what is left. Now we need to add. Actually, I need to hide the yellow overlay because that yellow overlay should be appeared only if you hover your mouse over the section. So to hide that, we will use opacity 0, and I will use the transition here to have the smooth fade animation effect. Now I will display this overlay as soon as we will hover over the picture. So add the over pseudo selector and change the opacity to 1. Well, now let's try. Okay, it is working great. Now we need to add the cursor pointer. Okay, great. So I need to add 2 more columns. So let's try to add more columns. For that, select this one and copy paste 2 times further. At this time, they are aligned vertical, but we need to display them horizontally. So go back to the style in the blog row. We will add display flex, and flex will by default align them horizontally. Now there should be a gap after every column. For that, I will add gap 20 pixels. Let's see. Yeah, 20 pixels is sufficient. So next, we need to add download some images from the internet, from the pixels. So let's download some interesting images. Okay, let's download this. We need total 3 images. So this is the third one. Okay, now We need to drag all of those images back here in the VS Code. I will rename them to have blog 1, blog 2, and blog 3. So now we can start adding the background images on the pictures, style, background image, URL, assets, images, blog 1. So also change the paths for the images for other sections and reload it. We need to add the styles to these pictures in the CSS to have some visibility. For that, add background size cover and background position center. Now reload it and see. Yeah, now it is looking great, excellent. But the pictures are same for the last two columns. Let's look at that. So this should be two. Okay, great. Yeah, now it's looking better, much better. Awesome. So after that, next section is contact us. So let's build that. So for that, let's add the comments for starting and ending section. And now I will add the div contact, and then I will need the heading 1, contact us. After that, I will copy the paragraph that we need from here, select all that, and add the p tag. Here we need to add a line break. After that, we need two columns, one for the form and second for the picture. So here add contact row and there add contact column, and copy paste that. Here add the div contact image. Here we will add the background image for the contact. And now let's style these sections. So I will add the selector for the contact row, then add display flex, and in the contact row we have the contact column, and we are going to set the width. So as we can see that width for every column is 50%, so we are going to use flex 50% and reload it. Okay, so next we need to add heading for the form section. Send us message. The gap between the paragraph and the heading is higher than we have right now, so let's calculate the padding top. Our margin top is 100 pixel. So go back to the style, contact row, add the padding top. Okay, okay. Next, we need to add the input fields, which are very simple. So in the same column, I'm going to add the form tag, and here I will add the input type text and name name. And I will also add the placeholder name. So copy paste like this, and here I will add email. Type should also be the email, and placeholder should also be the email. And third one should be the text area, because here we are supposed to type the message. So message always has large number of characters. That is why we use the text area. Okay, we have added the inputs, but these are not looking good at all. So let's design them to make them look perfect. So we have the form tag, and form tag, we will add the display flex to the form tag, and so there should be a gap after every input. So I will add 20 pixels, and the direction of the flex should be column this time instead of the row. So inside of the contact row form, we are going to design the input and text area. Text area. So the width should be 100%. Height should be, let's see the height for every input. Uh, Height is around 43 pixels, and background color light gray. Also, we don't need the border. We need padding left and right. Okay, okay. For the text area, we need add padding top as well. Okay. The background color is too dark. I want to make it light further. I guess this color is fine. So now I need to change the color of the placeholder. So let's see if we can change that. So, all right. I guess that's fine now. Now I need to increase the height for the text area. Let me check the height of the text area from the actual design. So height to text area is around 126 pixels. So we should not set the fixed height. We should add the minimum height instead of using fixed height for the text area. Okay, that's perfect. Now we need to add some gap after the heading tag. After the heading tag, the gap is around 40 pixels. Okay, we have added the 40 pixel margin bottom. Next, let me make sure that we have the correct font size for the heading too. So double click on that and see the font size is 30 pixels. So I will add the 30 pixel. Now reload the browser tab and okay, that's fine. Next on the right side, actually before that, let's complete the button after the text area. And the value inside the button should be the send message. Okay, let's reload it. So at this time, it is taking almost full width. I need to decrease the width. So for that, maybe I need to add the div here. Okay, that's perfect now. Well, after that, I need to add a picture on the right side. So let's take a picture from the pixel again. I will select contact us related picture. So let's take this picture for now. Okay, I will drag this picture again to the VS Code like we did before. Now let's add it to here. Style, background, image, URL, asserts, images, contact. And now we need to add some styles to this selector as well. Background, size, cover, height, 400 pixels, background, position, center. Uh, this is looking bad. Let's see what is the issue. So the text area is taking more width than the input. So yeah. So if something like this happens by adding the padding, you should use the box sizing is equal to border box. So let's add that to the text area. That will fix the padding problem and reload it. Okay. Now there should be a gap between the picture and the font like this. So let's add that here. I will add the gap 40 pixels. Huh, that is strange. Okay, that is fixed now. You can see that we have a picture on the right side and form on the left side. Let's try the background attachment here. Let's leave it. We will not use the background attachment fix. So that's fine for. All right, we have a lot of sections now. We have our blog, we have the contact us section, and we have the send message. And after that, we need to add this section, the contact information section. Contact info starts and contact info ends. Okay. For that, let's observe the layout. In the layout, we can see that there are total 3 columns in one row. So let's design that way. Here we need a section for the image or icon, and we need another section for the text. Let's copy the text and paste it here. We also need the icon. So let's try to get the icon from here. So I'm going to grab this icon as it is from here, select like this, and you can control C, or maybe select the copy merged and click on the new file and select here and crop it. Now save it, export as JPG. Similarly, close it and select this icon and again click on the copy merged like we did before and click on the file new and open this and paste the icon and export it as JPG again, and then once more select this icon and click on the copy merged and click on the file new, create, paste, and click on the export JPG and click on the save button. Now we have all of these 3 icons. I'm going to rename that icon 1, icon 2, icon 3. So select all of them and drag and move it into the VS Code. Here I will add the image tag this time. Okay, I need to decrease the size of the image here. Width should be, I guess, 10 pixels maybe. Let's see how it looks like with the 10 pixels. 10 pixel is, I guess, too small. Let's remove the width and see and compare with the original design. And this is fine now. Now we need to style this section. So select the selector and paste it here. And select the column. Actually, we need to add the display flex first to this parent selector. And now in the column, I want to add the width by using a flex property 20%. Let's see. And I also add justify content space around this time so that we can bring all of the content in the center horizontally. Reload it. So let's see what's wrong with it. I added the display flags. I added the space around. Maybe I need to add more elements like this. So let's add more columns. Hmm. So this time, this method is not working. Instead of using this, I will add the width, maybe max width. So let's use max width 200 pixel instead of the flex 130 20%. Remove that and add the max width and let's see. Okay, so, so let's use the justify content center. And we also need gap after the context section. So let's evaluate that distance. That is around 58 pixels. So we'll go to the context section. Let's add the 60 pixel gap. Okay. Now, next we need to add some gap between these three elements. So here, add gap 50 pixels. We also need to add text line center. Okay. Next, we need to add margin bottom after the image section, icon section. So select this and add the selector for the icon and add margin bottom for 30 pixels. See, 30 pixel too much. Let's add 10 pixel and see. Yeah, I guess 10 is fine. Next, I need to get the font size for this section. Font size is 12 pixels. So let's add the font size 12 pixels. Okay. Now I need to add different icons instead of the same one. See, reload it. All right, we have three different icons. Instead of the width, I'm going to use the height because you can see that it is looking strange here. No, that's fine. After that, we need to add the phone numbers for the phone number section. And then we need the email address. Okay, great. Now we need to add the social icons. So for the social icons, I would create another div and let's extract the social icons from it. I have selected the Facebook icon. I will click on the export as PNG, click on the save, close it. Now I need to select the second social icon, click on the Twitter and right click here on the layer and click on the select pixels. Now Control or Command C. Now click on the File New button and click on the Create. Paste the Twitter icon. Click on the. We actually need to remove the background every time. So click on the Export. Click on the PNG. Click on the Save button. Again, close it and click on the dribble icon. So right click on the dribble icon and click on the select pixel again and Control or Command C. Click on the File New button. Click on the Create button. Paste the dribble and remove the background color and click on the Export as PNG. Click on the Save. All right. Now select all of these and drag them to the VS Code. Twitter, dribble, Facebook. Okay. Now let's add these social icons. Facebook, dribble, and Twitter. Now let's see how it looks like for now. So this is how it looks like now. Now we need to align them center horizontally and add some gaps. Okay, there should be padding after these social icons. So let's evaluate the padding top. The padding top should be around 75 pixels. And we need to add the display flex and justify control center. And gap should be 40 pixels. And now let's see how it looks like now. Okay, great. I guess that's fine. So after that, we need to design the footer. So footer starts and footer ends. Here, I will add the selector for the footer and need to select the background color from here. Let's see. So this is the background color for the footer. Reload it. We need to add padding top and bottom. So padding from the top is 63 pixels. So we will use the same padding the top and the bottom type padding, 63 pixels and 0 pixels. Okay. Now we need to remove the padding bottom from the body because we added that temporarily. We also remove the margin around the HTML and body. Okay, perfect. Now we need to extract this logo, the white color logo, from the Photoshop and right click on the select pixels and press Control C. Now click on the new, click on the create button, paste, remove the background and export it, export as a PNG and save. Now let's grab that logo, white, drag it to the VS tool. Okay. Now in the footer, let's observe the layout as we see that there are total two columns. So for that, we need to use the display flex and add justify content space between. That will push both of the columns to the right and the left properly. And next, we need to add footer columns and flex one. Add the logo here, image, source, images, logo, white, And now we need to add the text. The text is the copyright text. Copy that and paste it here. We need to move this section inside the container class to have a specific width that we have added in the styles. And we need to change the styles colors to the white. Now we should align this text vertically in the middle of the logo. So for that, select the copyright. Display flex and align item center. Actually, copyright is ID, that is why it is not working. We have used the class selector, use the ID selector instead and reload it. Now we have it aligned vertically in the middle. And for the image tag, add some margin right. 20 pixels. Okay, I guess that is sufficient. Now on the right side, we need to add a link that would say back to the top. We need to move this content inside the another div that would say footer content and take this flex related code and move that into the footer content and reload it. All right. So as you can see that this section is here and text is aligned to the top. We need to align it vertically in the middle. So copy this ID and type here display flex align item center. Reload. So, okay, all right. You can see that we have successfully completed our layout. You can see now it is looking great. Everything is completed. So our portfolio layout is completed. We just completed the conversion from the PSD to the HTML and CSS. We did not work on the responsiveness of this layout yet. So that is why if you decrease the width, then layout will not look great. But in the desktop versions, it is looking great. So in the next version of this series, in the next episode, I will record how to make this layout responsive. So if you did not watch my previous lesson uh, where I have shown you that how to create a portfolio website from the PSD, that is a part one. You should go there in the description and get the link and watch the part one of this series. So after that, you will understand this series, this part two further. So I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon. And if you liked my video, please don't forget to comment and share with your friends as well to help them. So thank you for watching my video. See you next time. Bye.